All right, welcome back to another section of our demo review. So Alexia in the back there picked out some of her favorite tracks of the week. So we're going to cycle through a few of them. We always give honest, brutal feedback. I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm definitely a bit harsh. So, just keep that in mind. But I will be honest, and I will give your track a real listen. So let's see. What do we got first, Alexia? Manji did it? All right, let's hear it.
It's crowded in the smoke-filled room. Can I still find my way right back to you? Vision blurry, but one thing that's clear is how I feel about you.
Trying to get the vibe here. I guess this is like Afro house. I don't know. Is that the drop or is that? Yeah, fast forward a little bit. It's taking a long time to develop. Is that it? I think that. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Now this is like a second break. Wait. Let's see. Is there a drop here? No. All right. No, that's there's no development. That track just lacks development. You can't just have the same percussion loop, the same vocal, without some major changes happening. It just kind of feels like that. So definitely need to work on developing a bit more. I mean, there's tracks, yes, that use a few elements
right now,
and they just build off of those elements. But unless you're cutting out things actively and really changing things actively throughout the track, it's just not going to develop the right way. I'm going to go with like a 3 out of 10 with that. Maybe some good vocal elements, but you really got to strip back some stuff and be a bit more creative with your sound selections.
All right. Well, next one we have Doc Wilder by Laurel.
Doc Wilder by Laurel,
Yeah.
Female producer. Well, we've had a lot of male producers.
You're running a little late.
No?
You're feeling stressed.
Gotta get
or
some female
overwhelmed,
producers.
And you may be going
I know. If you're a
bit
female
over the
producer,
speed
send
limit.
us your demo,
So to
please,
help
because it's
you
all
relax,
guy
excellent.
producers, and I know there's some fire female
Ease up on
producers
the
out there.
gas. You'll get
All right.
there when
Got
you
the
get
ad out of the
there.
way.
Take a moment to just
Gotta
chill.
log in. I have a paid SoundCloud account before people started
This
tagging in the
little break
comments.
is brought to you
All
by
right,
Target
it's just
Zero in the
Alexia's.
Florida
We
Department
gotta
of
upgrade you to a
Transportation.
paid SoundCloud. All right, let's see what we got. Please don't tell me it's Afro House again, is it? I'm not a fan of Afro House, so let me preface that. But okay. It's hard to hear the low end, but it doesn't really sound like there is one. I mean, you guys you really need to like look at your effects, and I mean, if you're gonna make a track like this that's so minimal, then everything needs to be perfect. The only way a track that only has a few elements will hit the right way is everything literally with the mix, and everything needs to be nearly perfect. So your percussion, your vocals, everything needs to sit perfectly, and then adding these effects like these down sweeps, crashes, risers, all that stuff to develop it. Again, I'm not a fan of Afro House, but it felt like that one was lacking a bunch of core elements. It's hard to hear the low end on computer speakers, obviously. So maybe the low end will shine through, but we still, even if you're producing, you should still try and make your bass cut through on computer speakers, because that's where people are listening. I'm going to give that one again, maybe like, I don't know, 2 out of 10. It's, yeah, like the other one even had a little bit more potential than that one, but it's just, don't send me Afro House too, because I'm gonna just shit on it. But I just think the genre is way too chill. But this one, there's not enough perfection for it to sound like a good record.
All right, next one we have by Coley. It's called Rover Extended Mix.
Rover by Collie, you said? Okay. All right, skip the intro. I could tell this is like a under a year producer. They haven't been.
Dealing with lames is not in my culture. Dodging bad vibes in my blacked out roper. So many snakes messing with a vulture. Dodging bad vibes in my blacked out roper.
All right, maybe 10 years ago that would have worked. Okay.
Dodging bad vibes in my blacked out roper.
Yeah. Again, sound development is key, especially when you're working with such few elements. I mean, that sounded a little video gamey. You know, that's how I could tell you're probably a newer producer with some of the sound selections. You know, get Serum, use presets if you have to, whatever. If people get upset about that, but yeah. Again, I don't even want to give this one a rating because I'm just gonna keep shitting on people. But I'm a very harsh critic, so please, when you send these, just like try and keep that in mind that we're probably we're only looking for the top 10% of stuff. So I'm gonna skip a rating on that one because I don't want to just keep giving bad ratings.
So next one we have In Your
Feel the rhythm in your mind.
Okay. I already like this one.
In your mind.
Yeah, you can tell the sound selections are clean off the back.
Feel the rhythm in your mind.
Let it go.
Feel the rhythm in your mind. In your mind.
Is this the break or the drop? It's kind of hard to
Feel the
hear.
rhythm in your mind.
Yeah, this is the break. Okay. It's hard to hear if there's a kick drum
in your
here.
mind. Feel the rhythm in your mind.
I'd say cut out some of the low end here to make it a bit more impactful.
In your mind. In your mind. In your mind.
All right.
In your mind. Feel the rhythm in your mind.
All right. So yeah, a lot of the stuff is there. Much better sound development than the past couple records. You need to scale the sounds back a little bit. They're a little bit too in your face. And then cut down that breakdown a little bit. Maybe be a bit more pads, less bass elements. You want to save those big bass elements for the drop if you're going for like that odd mob-esque kind of style because that's how it'll have more of an impact. I will go with a 6 out of 10 on this one. I think you got some good sounds there. Solid vocal to work around. You just got to like hone it in, tighten it up a little bit.
All right, so this is an unknown producer.
Okay.
I don't know his name, and it's a remix of
Drop
Door
it.
by MK.
Okay. I've heard a bunch of these. I did one. All right, so this is my remix, right? Thank you, Alexia. Is it there? I don't know. I mean, come on. That's gonna play out well, all right?
What do you rate it then?
I'm biased because it's my song. I will say I did that one in under 6 hours, so probably could have been improved on the mix and master side because I saw MK was posting about his remixes. I'm gonna give myself. I can't give myself the highest rating of the week because that would be fucked up. I'll let Alexia chime in. Be brutal.
It's not my favorite song already. So
Okay.
Based on that, I'm already giving it like a 7.
All right, I'll take it. Alexia gave it a 7 out of 10, which is where that, in fairness to me, that is what I was gonna rank it because I think the mix and master could be improved a little bit. I'm always harsh on myself, but yeah. Thank you guys for listening to that one. Ecstasy by Stevie. else. Let's see. All right, so again, I mean, you're working with some good elements there, but I think you all are lacking development, track development. You can't just have a good 8-bar loop or 16-bar loop and expect to build your whole track around that. It needs to develop. It needs to go somewhere. So work on that track development. Again, I think some of these sounds are a little outdated. They sound like a 2015 electro track, maybe. So maybe work on that sound design a bit. I'm going to go with a 5 out of 10 on this one. Yeah, again, I'm being harsh today. I'm sorry. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just feeling like these sounds are dated and they're just not developed enough. Just try and work on your track development a bit more and try and refine the sounds to kind of get on par with where everyone else is at today. Hopefully that helps. All right, that's it for today. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Demo Review. All right, what is going on? Welcome back to the Wired Sound Podcast. So this is a continuation from last week, or 2 weeks ago. This is the part 2 of my solo podcast. We got some guests that have been delayed through various touring issues, injuries, and a bunch of stuff. But that's what happens as a DJ life. I know one of our upcoming guests had to get surgery, so hopefully he's doing okay. Alexia told me that. I'm not gonna name the guest, but anyways. Yeah, we're back to it. I just came off a show with Nico and Sway at Dare this past weekend. Always, that ended up being a last-minute show. Some of the best shows I play, I feel like they're always just like last minute. I get hit up week of. I don't think people know this, but sometimes it depends on the places. But sometimes, in the DJ world, people bail. So I got hit up for 2 gigs last minute. Actually, I played at Cucina in West Palm on Friday. And then Saturday, I was at Dare Day Club. And the funny thing about all that is I was literally going to be on vacation all last week. I was gone. I was supposed to be gone. But I canceled the trip last minute because I got a bunch of 2 DJ bookings. And, I was like, you know what? Not going to turn down, especially a Dare Day Club with Nico and Sway. It sounded like a fun time. So I did not go on vacation, which I probably need one soon, in case you can't see by these eyes. So anyways, Dare was awesome. It could be a hit or miss there, but I know you were saying, Alexia, that some people say it's just so sunny in the summertime that they get day drunk just from the sunshine. I guess that's an issue with that. I felt that in Vegas. You've never been to Vegas. All right. I've been to Vegas a few times, and I will say in the summertime especially, I mean, even EDC Vegas time, it starts to get up to 100, 105. I was there as 110. And so when you're drinking with that shit, and people are just out partying. It's just a recipe for disaster. I'm surprised. There probably is a Vegas club. I would think a day club that has a cover. Maybe not. Yeah, we should look that up. Maybe see if there's any day clubs. But it is fucking brutal. Vegas. Let's talk about the Vegas market a little bit because for me it's. I think probably the end-all, be-all for DJs. And you think back to Elvis or legends of the music industry, and those were the people that had the Vegas residencies. Elvis had, I think, his Vegas residency, what was it, for 20 years or something like that. But it's just funny how now we went from Elvis to now it's Calvin Harris with his Vegas residency. But that's where we're at. It's the Vegas residency. Once you hit that. Once you get to that level, you're I made it. Some of these artists, they'll get paid 20. And we're back. All right, so Alexia looked up. There are some day clubs that are not in the sun. SLS is gone, by the way. I think they closed down. Hyde Beach, at least. I think SLS and Hyde Beach. They just closed down 2 weeks ago. RIP, yeah. Is there any Vegas ones, though, that are not directly in the sun? I don't, because then what's the point of the day club? People want to be in the pool, right?
It says Marquee and Tal Beach Club.
Marquee, no, Marquee's pretty. I would have to see. You pull up an image. Yeah, I played. That's a crazy story. I actually played Marquee Vegas, and this is a lesson to all DJs. to just fucking go out and like be out in the scene. I don't know how, this must have been like 5 or 6 years ago, but I showed up to see Dioro. I think I was just out there with my girlfriend, just like partying in Vegas. And at the time I had worked with like Dioro's label in the past, so I like got on guest list, which is awesome. You know, always feels like fucking made in the industry when you're backstage in Vegas. But what happened was my tour manager at the time, who was just like with us partying, was like, yo, you want to like check to see if he wants to go back to back? I have my sticks on me. Always have your USB sticks on you, right? This is every DJ's like fucking dream right here. And he looks over at me, Dioro, and he's like, yo, you want it? And I'm like, what? Like, so my heart's racing. I was probably like 3 or 4 tequila shots in too. Probably not a great way to go into my first Vegas set back to back with Dioro. But ended up crushing it. It was like probably one of the best sets of my life. It was literally just a back-to-back. Like, you know, people know what a back-to-back is, right? Yeah, you're just going back-to-back with another DJ. What you might not know is usually you're working off of like your songs and then their songs. And the hard thing about a back-to-back would really be that you don't really know the structure of their music if you haven't heard the songs before, right? It could be your first time hearing the other DJ's song. Which a lot of Dioro's tracks, he had like unreleased edits and stuff like that. So I'd never heard the mixes. If you've been DJing for long enough, you can read the waveforms and kind of see where the breaks are coming in. And so that's how I did that set. But yeah, first Vegas set was back to back with Dioro at Marquee. I gotta hit the Marquee guys up to get me back. So yeah, anyways, and that was I just happened to be there. There's a video, we should probably clip it in here, of me and Dioro playing back to back. And Dioro's great, by the way. I know I've talked about him. I played with him a few times. So that was a moment, you know. And again, it was just from being out in Vegas, and it's something I wish I had done more in my career, is just go out. It's just I'm not a huge partier, actually, unless I'm DJing. I'm not really out that much. I think, yeah, we've talked about that too. It's just a lot of, like, we're producer nerds. I was on Zoom with Retrovision yesterday, and he talked about how like comfortable I seemed on camera, because I guess he streams with a lot of like producers, and he's like, you seem a lot more comfortable than a lot of the guys that I talk with, because I guess I'm just used to it from the podcast and stuff. But I think people forget when these DJs that are just like blowing up out of nowhere, when they're getting up on stage, like, these people were probably in their rooms for the past 5 years, if they did it the right way. But they were probably locked in their rooms for the past 5 years, not talking to anyone, super antisocial, not going out. And so it's a big, big shock when you're going from that to headlining Marquee Vegas or whatever. It took me a while to get comfortable in front of the camera and being seen as a artist. I don't think that's something that comes naturally. Like, you just kind of develop it over time. Like, oh, people want to take a picture with me. Oh, people like, you know, and it's amazing. Like, it's one of the best things ever. It's just definitely different than your average day. I think I'm trying to think of the first time someone recognized me and asked for a photo. I mean, obviously after sets and stuff like that. I know I've seen a few people talk about this, but it is really important to not just like ditch the club right after you finish your set. Stick around, talk to the people that are there to support you, especially if it was like an artist show and they're there to like see you play. A lot of my, biggest supporters have been fans that I just stuck around after a show. They weren't even there to see me. Maybe I was the support act, and I just talked to them. I was like, what'd you guys think? Did you have fun? I've offered them, like, I have, I think it's I think of their name, but I think it's a brother and their sister. They're coming out to see me this weekend with Sam Felt, and they saw me. This is at Strawberry Moon. And I played there maybe 3 years ago with Don Diablo. And I don't know if it's the same girl. I probably should ask her. But I remember I was in the backstage area, right after I played, and she threw me a piece of the candy. If you don't know what candy is, it's like it's like the how would you describe candy, Alexia? Because you're more in the raver scene. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, it's just like little bracelets.
yeah, it's like little bracelets that are like for the dance music world. To show love and everything. And she threw me one. And one of the highlights of my DJ career so far was I actually caught it instead of like letting it hit me in the face. Because that's happened to me before. That's another thing. Like, I know I'm sidetracking a bit here, but anyways, I'll go back to that in a sec. But from that show, they've come to like 3 or 4 of my sets. I put them on guest list, of course, because I think it's one of their birthdays this upcoming week. And yeah, and it was just because I stuck around after. I think I saw them when I was getting my car, and they're like, "Yo, like you were great." You know, we walked out together, and then we chatted on the way out. And since then, they've come to a bunch of sets. They've posted my music, and that's, you know, I'm always talking to them and stuff like that, sending them unreleased music, stuff like that. Yeah, so I think it's really important to develop that. Like, you know, you don't have to until you have so many people hitting you up that you literally can't even respond to everyone. You should be being friendly and yeah, being nice to everyone, because like they're supporting you. Like, they're taking their time out of their day to listen to your music, to show up to your sets. Like, that takes a lot for a person to do that. So remember that. Wait, okay, so before we talk about that, let's talk about flying objects at the DJ, because this is not a topic that people ever talk about. And I don't know if any other DJs have like this major anxiety about this. And this is only from past DJ set trauma, the reason that I'm bringing this up. Please do not throw like the balls or like pretty much any objects at the DJ booth while we're DJing. Like, do you know how embarrassing it is to be like mid-set in front of 500 people and get smacked in the face with a beach ball? I mean, I'm only saying this because this has happened to me, okay? So don't throw things at the DJ, all right? I wish I had a video of it, but it was bad. Like, you know, and then I've seen videos where someone throws something like that on stage. It fucks up the mixer. You know, it's all around bad. Yeah, but DJs, I think they get stuff thrown at them more often than not. And it's probably like, out of playing for 1,000 people, like the most stressful thing I could think of is having to like tee up a volleyball in front of a crowd, because I'm not athletically prone at all. And like, you know, just being like boop and not making it past the first 3 people in the row. Yeah, so flying objects at DJ sets, you know, keep them in the crowd. Please don't throw them to the DJ. All right, back to what Alexia was going to ask. What was the questions?
Number 1, what's your toxic DJ trait? Like, what would you say is your biggest, like, most toxic, like, trait as a DJ?
You mean like how I am up on stage, or
Just
toxic?
like a trait simply that, like, other DJs might not agree with, like,
Something that I do?
yeah.
Let's see. Drink a bunch of alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. What is my toxic DJ trait? I really try and be like a considerate DJ when you're talking about like transitioning. I mean, maybe going too hard. I know it's a big topic. As on an opening set, is playing too hard before. I think there's a really fine line there. I probably crossed it, because the tricky thing for me is I've been booked as a headliner and as a support act, and it's really hard to, like, I played a show in like China, for example. I think I've talked about this, but I was headlining, and then maybe like 2 weeks later, I was playing a support set at like Dare, and so I had to like obviously remember that I was the sport and not the headliner anymore. And so you have to like tone down your set, and sometimes I forget that when I'm in the moment, and I'll play a little bit too hard. I'm like, oh shit, like someone else is gonna be on in 30 minutes. I better like, yeah. So that would probably be the most toxic one, is going too hard as an opener. But I've gotten way better about that. I used to be horrible, and I also used to be very like, I need to play my music and shit during a set, which I think is a horrible mindset to have. That was a very toxic mindset. It's like, I need to play my originals. Like, people are here to hear that. When no, they're just there to party and like have a good time, most likely, unless you are fucking Tiesto or like Elenium or one of these people that everyone knows your song. So mixing your music in, sure, test it out, but making it all about you and your music, that's toxic as fuck as a DJ. Make it about the crowd and what they want to hear.
Another question is, this is controversial. But
Okay.
What do you think? Okay, so DJs are obviously very big. They have a big influence.
All right.
Do you think they should speak on political?
No fucking way. She was asking if DJs should get involved in politics. I mean, like, why would that, you know, it's the same thing as like actors or like, we don't know what the fuck is up. We're drunk on an airplane half of our life. We don't know like geopolitical It's just not a, we know how to mix and master. We know how to make a remix or a flip on TikTok. I don't know politics at all. Yeah. Don't give me that look. What you don't realize with a lot of, I mean, if you're doing this like how I've been doing it, your time, it's all music. I mean, that's the only real way to make it nowadays. You don't really, like, I don't really have a social life. I don't have, like, I have a family life because I really pride that. But that's it. My family, I'm making music. I'm running this DJ school. I'm running a record label. I'm touring. I very rarely read the news because I just get, like, stressed out with it, to be honest. But I wake up, I think about, like, oh, shit, I got to finish this remix, or, oh, shit, I got to, talk to people about the school, or, whatever it is. So I think when you get to a certain level, you don't really have time to focus on politics. Yeah, but we're in a different time. Like, there wasn't a billion DJs trying to make it. Back when house, she was saying like house music started as a statement, especially in like the gay scene, I think, and like the right. Yeah, the gay and the black community in Chicago, I think, is where it really originated as an escape from structures or from from places that were I don't know what the right terminology is. I don't want to fuck up the right terminology, but it started that way. But that was a completely different era, and again, the music was just about that. It was about an escape, which it still is. But if you're gonna make it to this level now as a DJ, you got to be fucking driven and focused, and like it's got to be your life. Because otherwise there's just 100 other people that are gonna work harder than you at it. I mean, I know some people say it's bad to have that grind mindset. I just don't think there's really much of an option for DJs to not have that and succeed nowadays, unless you have a bunch of money and we don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. But oh yeah, she's asking if touring is glamorized and could cause, like, I guess, unhappiness. And yeah, I mean, there's so many examples of artists that have gone through this. I've had it in like doses, right? So I think the good thing that I feel, if I ever hopefully look back on this one day and we rewatch this podcast and hopefully I'm fucking touring full time, which I am pretty much touring full time. But I've had tastes of success, and then I've gone down a little bit, and I've had ups and downs, which is a lot of DJs. You realize over time, if you just stay in it long enough, you're gonna have ups and downs. I think the ones that just have the ups, they got it maybe a little bit too easy, and then they fall into the depression, drinking, partying nonstop, and then the toxic lifestyle of touring, because like what else is there for me? I still am fucking hungry. I'm still trying to and then that eventually will cause you to fall off if you let that take control. I think it's really important. I know we've probably talked about mental health and everything, maybe not, but it's super easy. It's a slippery slope. I mean, you're at parties, you're drinking until 5 a.m. and then you're in the next city eating shitty food, and it just goes on. You're on an airplane. Like I've done it before where I partied like a little bit intentionally because I was like, I got a 6 a.m. flight and I don't want to remember this flight, and that like I don't feel like being on an airplane right now, and I'm like, if I drink a little bit, and that's maybe a slippery slope. I probably shouldn't do that, but I fucking don't like flying that much. So flying a little tipsy wasn't the worst thing, but I think it is glamorized, especially at the mid level, because like when you're at this level, it's not private jets, it's not fucking Ritz-Carlton. You're staying at the Hilton. You're taking a Spirit Airlines flight at 6 a.m. And then you're eating low-cost meals, trying to keep everything under a certain price so you can make enough money to justify the gig as like you actually made money and didn't lose money on things. So yeah, a lot of the mid-level DJs, you get into it and you're like, oh shit, like this is gonna be baller. I mean, it depends on your agent too, I guess. The agent would be the person that's negotiating. The flip side of all that is like, is a promoter or a venue going to book you if you're overpriced and you're demanding these like a 5-star hotel and this much money and everything like that. So, but yeah, I got a little sidetracked there. But yeah, I think it is glamorized and is something that it's amazing. I mean, you can't beat this career because you get to have these moments where it's just like it's the fucking best. I can't. It's like it's such an adrenaline rush.
Considering that, like, you can fall into very hard habits, do you think big DJs should get drug tested before big events such as EDC, Tomorrowland? Because you remember
No.
David Guetta.
Yeah, no. She's asking if DJs should get drug tested. Why? No. I mean, everyone's. It's up to them. It's not like we're flying airplanes up there, you know. I mean, because you could go back in history. I mean, like the Doors or like fucking classic rock bands that have played some of the best sets of their life. Who knows what the fuck they were on? I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying, like that's a personal choice as an artist. In the David Guetta, yeah.
Imagine, like, you book someone for your biggest artist and then they're just drunk the whole time and they're just like David Guetta.
Yeah. Well, all right. So she's saying, as the event buyer, would you be upset if your act was fucked up? The answer to that is actually no, if they pulled all the people there. That is all that the talent buyer or the people that are throwing on the events care about. If you sold 1,000 tickets and you're blacked out, I mean, yeah, not a good look for you. But they still made their money most likely. I mean, maybe on drink sales they're gonna hurt a bit. But if it's like we're talking about festivals, they're more about ticket sales and stuff like that. So if you brought those people in, they're probably not still, as long as they made the certain amount of ticket sales, then they're not so. I mean, yeah, you don't want someone throwing up on the decks, but yeah, no, I don't think drug testing would definitely not be appropriate in the DJ world. Yeah, who knows? I don't know what you know. That's a personal choice though, as a DJ, and you know, I just think I know myself, and so I've been very careful about that kind of stuff because I feel like I would like some stuff a little bit too much, and you're around it so much, you're offered stuff so often that you need to have self-control, and or else you just fall off. I've seen it happen to a bunch of people.
My last
Any
question is,
last question? Okay.
do you have a DJ habit that gives you the ick?
A DJ habit that gives me an ick. I mean, I'm inclined to say dancing, but I'm not a good dancer, right? So naturally, I'm just not doing a good job up on stage. So I think, yeah, I've gotten out of my head a bit with that. But you're a performer, so I can't say it's like the ick. You know, I'll look at.
Like, I get you if you're saying, like, I hate models, his dance.
Yeah, I hate models dancing. I mean, but that's probably what made I hate models. Like I paid attention to him because his dancing was weird. A lot of the times, the things that like give you the ick, I'm very vulnerable, as you can see. For me, a lot of times I noticed I've like in earlier life had like a higher pitched voice, right? And I was like, I wish my voice was like a little bit deeper. Whatever, self-conscious. I'm saying that because from that I started making TikToks where I would do like these voiceover TikToks, and those were the ones that always took off. It was me doing voiceovers on TikTok because my voice was distinct. Or like, if you know Gary Vee, if you've ever seen Gary Vee, his voice is like, you think mine's like high pitched, his is like 3 times higher. Gary, mine, well, yeah, you're self-conscious of yourself, I guess. But anyways, Gary Vee's voice, I feel like is half the reason he made it as big as he did, because people are like, he's like, oh, you know, it's like really high pitch and energetic, and I think that's made people pay attention. So back to what you said with I hate models, the thing that makes you weird a lot of time is the thing that people attach to as an artist, and what makes people people attach to you. So yeah, that would be my answer to that. Okay. How are we doing on?
We're at 23 minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's see. What do I got coming up? I've been busy. I've got a really big tour coming up, so I'm super hyped. We'll be announcing that in the next few weeks, and then me and Retrovision just got the green light on our official remake of Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus, classic. So sorry to do a little plug there, but been working on this one probably for like over 2 years to actually get it cleared. So look out for that. And we'll be back next week with hopefully a healthy guest that, right? Maybe, yes, okay. Hopefully a guest that is recovering from surgery. Hopefully he doesn't care that we brought up his surgery on the podcast. And we will see you next week on the Wired Sound podcast.